Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. After a lot of trouble, lot of problems with this recording alone, we have got the show on road. We are here to talk, as usual, about the review for the Wolves game that we had very recently. We won very convincingly, but more importantly, we are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. Yeah. I meant to start. I was very confused with both topics to start off the discussion with. And before I go into that thing, I had to introduce everyone in today. We've got Arun back with us. I mean, he hasn't cut me off, so I don't know if I should introduce him or not. So, but still.
No,
Hi,
I do have something to cut you off. Hi, but don't forget to mention what Bob usually keeps saying about liking, subscribing, and all that. So
now everyone's mind, Bob lives there in everyone's mind, rent free.
rent free.
But we've got Deepak back with us. Hi, Deepak.
Hello.
And Ellen. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Picasso.
Awesome. Yes. So as Arun mentioned, I'm heeding to Bob's word, who lives in my brain too. So everyone who's listening, please do like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate your help, your support on all these things. We've been trying to do it as regular as possible, and I think we have been doing a pretty good job, at least recently. So do subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like, share, comment. And with World Cup coming up, we are doing a lot more, things to this in this channel. At least we are going to do with a show called Arsenal and World Cup with Mitch. I hope you guys remember Mitch. So he's going to be there helping us with that show. And also we would be talking a lot more about Arsenal history. And of course, there's going to be more banter with the other fans and stuff. And Bob will obviously do his own transfer episodes. By the time we get back, it'll be time for transfers. So he'll do his scouting report back, and hopefully we'll get more. We got lucky this time with him doing so. Yeah, we'll continue that. We are that superstitious set of fans, so we will continue being that superstitious set of fans. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's start with the game. But before I start the game, Deepak, I know I have to start this question with you. Did you watch Ronaldo's interview, the snippets? Are you reading? Are you following the shit show that's happening with United?
Yes, of course. That is the biggest news. He just wanted to hog the limelight, and he got what he wanted. That's all he wanted.
How happy are you to see the United bandwagon in flames during
I'm
this
very
time?
happy. It's like their ultimate legend. They don't know who to support, the club or the ultimate legend. So it's very fun to watch.
Especially for an Arsenal fan who has gone through the whole thing around, right? Like when Ronaldo was at top, we have gone through this whole thing. We have seen them claiming Ronaldo as the greatest player, and then we have seen him go to the Real Madrid, and everything that every fan who was saying GGMU, glory, glory, Manchester United, turned Hala GGMU.
Hala GGMU Forza. Hala GGMU Forza Juve.
And all those things now, those same fans turning against him. How happy are you about this?
It's so much fun. My Twitter is like a circus right now. Like the people are really conflicted. They don't know, because whatever the dude has said so far, whatever snippets we've seen, he's taken a dig at all the wrong things, but at the same time, you don't want your player to say it out loud. So people are really conflicted. They're like, he's saying the truth, but do we really support it because he's talking about my club? And that's sort of a dilemma that people have, especially when United fans have, and all the retweets that we see. It's unbelievable. I'm like, feed me more. That's what I want. Feed me more.
Yeah,
We have
best thing, the Arsenal fans who hate Piers Morgan, he has done the best thing since as an
Exactly.
Arsenal fan.
In his life as a Gooner, I think this is his greatest achievement. I would say, like even the questions that he asked, it was like, oh, by the way, why are we not talking about this? I'm going to poke the bear. That's what he was doing all the time.
Just a
Ellen, your
warning,
thoughts?
guys. No, I just want to warn you guys. Like, this is the right time because whatever he has done, right, his contract might be terminated. He can come and join your MLS.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he
yeah. I
will.
think he'll probably go to Portugal
He
before
can't
coming to
come
the.
into
Possibilities.
US. He is
Yeah, he
banned
No,
can't
from
like
come into the
Europe.
say,
US. That's another thing. He's banned from
no,
coming
that
into the
is
US.
there. No, that is there. But like say, if a big MLS club wants him, right, like they can talk to the authorities and they can change it.
That's why Rooney asked him to come to the US and talk to him because he knows he's not going to be able to do that.
We know, like even the pre-seasons, he doesn't go to US, but like it's a very correct time for him to do with respect to that.
Ellen, we are not here to talk about rational things here.
Anything positive
That's
out
not
of
the
this? It's
point of this here. Okay,
No,
we are
oh,
here
but
to we are here to
yesterday,
like
right?
make fun.
No, yesterday, right? I had one interesting incident with respect to Ronaldo's this meeting. See, the thing is, like, even when like people who used to support Ronaldo in the past, including me, like when I was saying like whatever Ronaldo did was like not good as a professional, but like what he said is true. And both United and ETH, right? Like they made sure like this came out because like the guy like Ronaldo, like you have him in bench and like your United need a goal, they bring someone else instead of him. And such kinds of things, right, will this Ronaldo being a big ego guy will definitely come out. Now I see how good Ozil is. And seriously, Arteta was at least right, very frank that he won't even take him in bench. We don't need you. Like it was like a very proper decision. Like whereas like this guy is right, they still can't take a decision of like not even like having him in the squad
But
or
again,
like
at the end of the day,
I'm
Ozil was
very
not
happy.
our
No, no,
legend.
no. Ozil, see, it's not about legend or anything. Like if they had now, what has happened is Ronaldo lost his legend status. Ronaldo, I don't think like it was 1 year before, right? I would have been worried because every club would have been ready to take Ronaldo. Now I don't think anybody is ready to take him also because of his wages and other things. So he has lost his what to say, good
Oh,
player
yeah.
or great player status. And whatever he has said is true also. So the clubs have lost their stuff also. So it's like lost for both of them. Very rare situation where you get lost and you are happy about it.
Yeah.
Uh, but again, like yeah, we are speaking about United at the start because it's always happy to laugh at others rather than revel in our own success. But we have to get back to the game. Getting back to the game, I'll start with you, Ellen, on that. Right, like when the news came out. I mean, when the team starting lineup came out and stuff, we were not really surprised, but once the game started and Xhaka went down within the first second minute of it, and then after the game, right now we are hearing that there was a stomach bug, there was something with the food or something like that. Looking back at it, how lucky were we, to have the first team players, not that impacted by this stomach bug, apart from Xhaka, of course. Because I think that Sambi Lokonga was out too because he was not even named on the bench. And I saw that there are other players who would have made bench who were out too. So it seemed like we were extremely lucky, even in an unfortunate situation.
That's true, but like you are saying, like we just lost Zaka. We lost Zaka. Okay, like and that had an impact. See, that had an impact. If you see, like we were not
What a
that
moment.
much fluent at the
this is
first
this
half
is
after
not this
that.
is not last season or the season before, Vijay. You cannot just like throw words like that. We've lost Xhaka. You cannot say we lost Xhaka. You hit it right on the head.
No, like we were actually struggling like after in the first half, like after we lost. Like, see, I'm not saying with him like we might not have done better also because Wolves are always our bogey team along with Southampton. Like we
Yep.
generally struggle with them, and they played well also in the first half. Like, but one good thing is like if you ask me, like even with all these issues and like all the things against us, we still like won the game. this team, right, is proving many times like they are finding different ways to win, even when they are not playing good, or even when the other teams are playing well and we are struggling. So that's a
Hmm.
good thing I'm seeing with the team.
That's very interesting, Arun. Like, if you if you look back, this is a pressure kind of game, kind of in the sense that Manchester City played before us. They lost a game that they were supposed to, on paper, win, which means there is added pressure on the team. And whenever we have added pressure, like even last season when we had the top four in our hands, when that added pressure came in, the team kind of crumbled. But this time, I don't know if it's still too early to say that, oh, it's an added pressure. They survived it, but kind of like, yeah, we are doing better than last season, or even last season, about handling these important games.
Definitely, but I would like to say it is too early to call it like pressure or anything of that sort. The table says we are second, so we are title contenders. But like in reality, we know the gulf of difference between City and us. City losing points is excellent for us. Like right now with the position in the table that we are in, whatever the larger picture might be, it is excellent. It's excellent news for us. The fact that the team actually saw the game. Like remember, Arteta was saying like they were watching the game and like they reacted as you would expect them to. It shows that this team like sort of wants something more rather than just settle for like a top four spot. So that is really good. Like I said earlier, it's too early to like really comment on if this is something that is going to put added pressure or anything at all. Again, because we're just like 14 games into the season, the pressure really comes in the second half of the season when like there are a lot more factors at play. And right now, we also have this additional factor of the World Cup being in play. So when we go into the second half of the season, and if around March or April, if the team is still able to do things like this, when we are like because like it's not easy getting
Yep.
motivated week in week out, like looking at a team like City, and then like they're dropping points. Like we keep saying in the last 5 seasons they've hit 100 points. Like how do you compete with a team that goes like that? So it's definitely, and Liverpool did like the second best team probably in the last 5 years has been Liverpool, and even they felt the pressure for all the mentality monsters that Klopp keeps calling his team as. So yeah, for me, in my opinion, it's like really too early to really comment on anything of this sort. I would like to, but it's very like nice to see that the players are like not letting this get into their heads, and they know that they have a job to do. Whatever happens outside, their job is to go and win that particular game on that particular day, and they are able to do that, and they are continuing to do that. So for me, that's the biggest positive that I would take, like rather than like thinking about pressure, because like I said, I think it's really too early to talk about that pressure.
Mm.
apart
Yeah,
from
and
like
one.
apart from like
Oh,
many Arsenal fans, it's the people outside who are actually hyping up us up as like title contenders. If you really see it, people are starting to believe, of course, because like we are going on a break, but it's the others who are really waiting for a chance for us to slip so they can say we bottled it,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, but in that sense, right? Like Deepak, one last thing before we dive deep into the game. Arun mentioned that City has been 100-point team, but just on a numbers perspective, whatever we are right now, we look
Mhm.
to be closer to 100 points. We look to be, if we go along the same trajectory, even with certain misses, we could get closer to 100 points. Do you believe that's possible?
No, it's simple as that. We don't have the squad depth to go and achieve 100 points. Um, with the World Cup in middle and almost all the important players in our playing 11, I think like 4 or 5 are like starters for their national team who might go deep into the tournament. So I don't expect us to get 100 points until we have like good January signings to sustain at least. I wouldn't say like even if we sign good players in January, we would get closer to 100 points.
I
That is
mean,
like,
we have Emil Smith Rowe, like a new signing coming in
no,
January.
if the thing is like
yeah,
I don't think any team is going to go near 100 points this season. This would
Manchester.
be like a sort of season where the winner would be like 85 to 90 points, I think, because of the
See,
impact of the World Cup. We have like players going. City have like I think 16 players going to the World Cup or something of that sort.
but
So
City
everyone's
doesn't
going to
have
get
Haaland
affected.
going. City doesn't have Haaland going. Because just to add here, we are yet to play Newcastle and City, both the home
That's
and
it.
away. Newcastle, right? They have just lost one game, and that too against Liverpool, which was at the last minute or something, if I remember correctly. That was the only game where they lost. Newcastle are in a different streak altogether. Yes, they had few draws at the beginning. That is why, like, we have some good lead with Newcastle also. They are a dangerous team this season.
I
We are just
believe in Eddie Howe.
talking about City. We are
I
just
believe
talking
in Eddie
about
Howe bottling it.
that is still fine, but like before that, they can cause damage to us.
Yeah, they can definitely. Like we have like a lot of tough games coming up. It's like of course it's Premier League. Not, all the
All
38 games
game.
is not easy. Every game is like a given. So you have to like. So I think like Arteta would be saying to the team, just take it one by one. That's all it is. I don't think so. There is pressure on this team because I don't think
That's the
we
thing.
expect like us to like be on the top. No one expected us to be on the top, and no one expect us to win the league as well. So I don't think so. There is pressure. Last year there was pressure because we were nailed on for top four finish. We had like easy games to win. We bottled that. That was a clear bottling job. Even if we don't win the title, I wouldn't say we bottled the title right now because no one expect us to win a title. I'm pretty sure I don't expect us to win a title. I am just like I'm happy as long as we finish second or third.
I know, but still, like, this is a common thing that I'm asking all of you, right? Like, I mean, I am not expecting us to win the title, but if this is a season that we could get closer to it, or this is a freak season where there is a possibility of us winning a
Yeah,
title,
of course,
it
there is a
looks like,
possibility. It could
at
be like
least
a
till now,
Leicester
it looks
season,
like it,
but
right? Like, it
it is
looks like
still
that.
early, right? It's early
Yeah,
to call. It's
yeah,
just
but still,
14 games. It's not even like the Christmas. Everyone is saying we'll be top on Christmas. It's not. We have Christmas top
Fewer
is
games.
19
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
We have just played 14 games. It's not top of the table. If we are top of the table until like March, or at least 1 or 2 points behind City, March or April, then we can say we are sure shot in the title race and we can push for title. Until then, I would be like calm and say, okay, we are punching above our weight and we are doing really great.
Okay, getting back to the game, Ellen, I'll ask this question, right? Like, Saliba, was that a penalty or not?
It's a penalty. That's it. It's not an offside. It's a penalty.
Ellen
It's
says
clear.
no penalty. Deepak, I'm asking him,
No,
but
it was
you
an
are saying
offside. Why was it a penalty? It
It's
was an
not an
offside.
offside.
That's what
It's not an offside.
It was an offside. Like
It was an
It's not
offside.
an
It was
offside. We
clear
can
offside.
clearly see the
No,
video.
no, it was. I saw the highlights again. Like for this, it
Yeah.
was an offside.
It was clear offside. Yeah, yeah.
See, like if you are going by commentators, right, they'll say it is not offside, but it was clear offside.
There are like 100 videos posted by Wolfbrand, which is not an offside. It's clearly not an
Of course,
offside.
they are going to post 150
No, no, no.
videos. Now, why 100, 150, 200? They'll post that for sure.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
what
See,
they.
it was not that close one. It was not even that close kind of like line drawing thing. It looked clearly like an
It
offside
looked
when I
clearly offside. Yeah. For me, I saw that it was like, why are they even like debating this? Like, it's like it's clear as it's clear. He is
So,
there. He's like in front of the last defender. Why should that be there?
so that's a question for the viewers. Like, I mean, we have split two versus one. So whatever you guys feel
What
like,
about
we
you?
can
What do
go.
you think? Was it an offside or no?
I'm not going to answer that question. See, I'm here to
See,
ask
Yeah.
questions.
No, no,
Like,
no.
why?
Arun, because I cannot answer it. If he says it was not an offside, this will go against his conspiracy theory that the referees always are against Arsenal.
I
Yeah,
feel so called
that's
out.
why he can't speak. He knows that it's not an offside.
Why is everyone going after me? Like, I'm not the person who was saying anything. I was just asking questions. But again, Ellen, on that note though, like, there has been some moments where Saliba has been, a little bit rocky of late. Like, is it because of, the World Cup coming in, the jitters of, him going into a World Cup? He's 21. We cannot discount the fact that he's very, very young, going into something. He's doing something that's far beyond his age, right? Like, at least if we say Saka or someone, yeah, Saka has played into the Euros. Now, this World Cup is not his jitters kind of thing. But for someone as young as Saliba, who's going into his first World Cup, first big tournament, is this causing some kind of mental thing around how he plays?
Not exactly, if you ask me. Like even before, right? Like we had seen like games where he had made some of these mistakes. See, as you rightly said, he's young and like he's bound to make mistakes. So he's not like a mission, or like he has not that much experience to know what are all the things to do or this thing. See, that's his strength as well as his weakness, like if you take. But like in this game also, right, there he'll try to pass to Ramsdale and he will give it to the Wolves, right? See, I'm not sure how much this is true, but I've seen in Twitter who was on the ground. Looks like it was Arteta's
Arteta.
inspection.
That's simple.
That's what people are saying. But like, see,
Yeah, that is like the Saliba stand. If it was Gabriel, no one would have said
Oh,
anything.
yeah,
they
that
would
is
He
true.
have
was
That
that.
is true.
destroyed. They've
No,
shredded him to
if it
pieces.
was
Like Gabriel
Gabriel,
was
he would have gone.
useless.
If
but
it was
oh,
Gabriel, right, he would have been gone by now. Like
but also
even
like the thing
after
is like we have to acknowledge this game. Gabriel was massive. Like
Massive.
he has been like from the moment he signed his extension, he has been like really good. He's
He
been
has been the best defender for the last 3 or 4 games, actually.
Yeah, for
see
sure.
one thing
That's another thing.
to highlight is like
Ellen,
whenever Zinchenko plays, right? Okay, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to like add this point. Like, how many defenders do you see, like, like at the top most league when they're 21 and performing well? Like attackers and defenders don't play the same way. An attacker at 19 is a different beast from like a defender at 19. So at 21, Saliba is bound to make mistakes, especially when he's playing in a league like this for the first time. So, like, I mean, I wouldn't like think too much into it. It's just a part of his learning process. That's what I would say. I mean, Ellen, I don't know what you would say.
No, I was saying the same only. Like he's bound to make mistakes. And thing when we are talking about Gabriel, I want to highlight one thing also. Whenever Zinchenko plays, right, Gabriel has to do a lot more work because Zinchenko
Mm,
plays literally as a midfielder.
midfielder, yeah.
And like with Xhaka not available this game, right? Like Xhaka normally goes deep whenever Zinchenko goes on attack, but like with him also not available. And Odegaard and Vieira are not that good defensively compared to say a Xhaka. So it was more work for Gabriel, but he didn't show anything in this game. Like even a small minor issue from him, like would have been like scrutinized to a bigger level by even the Arsenal fans. I'm not even saying the
No,
others or
it's
the
just the Arsenal
even the
fans.
Arsenal
It's
fans.
not others. It's just Arsenal fans like me.
So like, but Saliba's mistakes, right? Like whenever he makes again, being like the way we are playing, they sometimes look really, really big, similar to what we've seen in Gabriel.
But when you are talking about Ellen, like all I can think of is Aaron Ramsdale yelling at Zinchenko for making that mistake. I was trying to like see how much, like I mean, yeah, it means he values his a clean sheet, but it's not that big a mistake. It's okay. You don't have to lay on to a player that much in a game like this. But getting back to the midfield, Deepak, right? Like losing Xhaka was a big loss, yes. But there has been a lot of questions raised about the quality of what's his name, Vieira,
Mm.
right? And he has been playing as either Saka's position or Odegaard's position. He has not played the Xhaka role, even though we have been talking about, yeah, he can play that role. Do you think, I mean, he took him time, like at least till halftime, he was not playing great. But after that, he kind of learned that position a little bit. Do you think, were you impressed by this game? What Vieira did in this game?
Not, I would say, like impressed, but he was bad, like you
Oh
said,
my
in the
God, you
first half.
disappoint me, Deepak. I thought you were gonna say I'm not very impressed, but you straight up said I'm not impressed. Okay.
Yeah, no, he was bad. Like when he came on, he was losing balls. He was pushed off the balls easily. He's still, I feel he's still not ready. Like uh physically, like he can be easily pushed off the ball. Like multiple times, Wolves player like easily throw him out of the ball. But second half, the assist was like really good, and the whole team picked up in the second half. So I would say this was our like uh, probably our weakest performance after the opening game against Crystal Palace. So
The
after
first one.
that, the first one. After that, we have been like really good in every games. Even the Southampton game, we played well, but we missed our chances. But the Wolves first half was like the worst we have played since the Crystal Palace game, which we were lucky to win. But after the second half, the first 20 minutes, like it was like really good. Yeah, like I said, like we were really good after the second half. Like when the second half started, we like really took our game to the next level for the 20 minutes, which
Yeah,
helped us to win the game.
but still, Deepak, like if I was looking at the first half, right, like there were moments where Vieira didn't know his position, what he's
Yeah,
supposed to do. Like he was completely off sync with the rest of the team. But in second half, I felt that he was getting in sync, and this is the first time, like I said, this is the first time he's playing that position. And I'll also continue that question with Arun, right? Like because of his value, he is valued, or he was bought for money closer to Odegaard's money. How much we spent on Odegaard, like it's almost the same money. How much of that is going to be like giving him a very short leash in Arsenal fans' mind? Like we want him to perform right now.
Uh, I think when we had like the season starting episode, I said something like, you need to give Vera this season. You need to give Vera this season. We cannot like like he's going to make mistakes, but he's also going to produce moments of magic. And like that's the kind of profile that the squad, the team wanted. And him playing in that position, in the left center mid position, that's not an easy position to play. Like xhaka has like raised the bar so much right now. Anyone coming in is going to be definitely compared with whatever xhaka has been doing so far, and that is not easy to emulate. On top of that, like you said, the 35 million price tag is definitely going to play a part. But you're talking about a player who looks underweight and has come from like a different league altogether. His quality was obviously there to see in the few games that he saw in the Europa League, the ones that he performed well. Like of course he had stinkers as well, but like in the games that he did perform well, he was really good. So for me, I wouldn't like really put too much thought into it, because like we have seen ESR trying to be a left center midfielder. ESR, who knows the system, who's played with the team, who knows his teammates, he was like totally lost. It was like deer in headlights when he was playing LCM. So how can we expect like this kid to come in and do everything like right away? So I would say he needs time, and he hopefully would get it in the second half of the season. And this would be like a learning season for him, by which time it's more about the squad depth, right? Like whatever he's doing is good enough for the cup competitions. It's like Odegaard is
Not
going to
just
be
that,
obviously.
we need someone to come off bench and score. It's not going to be as straightforward as now, right?
No,
Right
for
now,
sure.
our first team
For sure.
is.
And that's where I have the confidence, because whatever Vieira has done, he's shown that he's got a mean shot. And that's not something that everyone in the team we can say about. Like Odegaard has been trying to shoot, and we always keep complaining that he doesn't take a shot. But Vieira has got a really mean
You're
shot.
talking about the highest goal scorer.
No, true. But like, no, true. That's very true. But that's what I'm saying. Like the elements, the facets of play that Vieira is likely to bring in to this team is not going to be similar to what an Odegaard does or a Xhaka does. It's going to be something different, and that's how we need players to be, right? So when you give him more time across competitions, he's going to start performing. He just needs that experience, because
I
we've
think
seen
he
what he
has
can
to.
do.
Yeah, I think
World
he
Cup.
has to start more Premier League games, like against lower opponents. Like
Yeah.
Europa League, we play a completely different level. And you ask him to come and perform in a Premier League with a completely different 11 players. So I feel like he needs to have more time with like Jesus, Saka, or like let's say Martinelli. You put him with Eddie Nketiah and like ask him to perform 20 goal, like assist him who can't even finish. And I don't think so. Like it will happen.
There he is. I was waiting for Deepak to come out with Eddie bashing. There he is. But Ellen, but talking about like finishing and stuff, right? Like this game, Jesus had put the
Shot
ball
on the
into net,
post.
but it was not counted. But he has been playing really well, but there seems to be some kind of block or some kind of a thing that's not working for him. How are you getting concerned about him not scoring?
Not exactly. Like he see even one of the shot which he hit in this game hit the post and went off.
Yeah.
See, he's always at like the goal scoring area. That is what is more important. See, when we got Jesus, we know he is not like an Auba like striker who's going to give you 30 or 25 goals every season. But he is going to create the 25 or 30 goals, and that is what he is doing. And he's
But
also
okay.
finishing.
But if that is
See,
the case, let me ask you right now, right? Like, how many goals do you think Jesus will finish the season with?
I think he might have, if you take assists plus goals, it will be around 25 to 30. If you take primarily goals, I'm expecting around 15 or 12 to 15, you can say. That is what
Would that
my
be enough for a
expectation.
team? Would that be
Yes.
enough for a team like Arsenal?
See, for a team like Arsenal, right, they are not dependent on the striker to score goals. They are dependent on the entire team. You take Manchester City. We are saying now Holland. Before Holland, if you see, right, it will be like everybody pitching in with the scores, all the midfielders. In some games, it will be Magalhaes. In some games, it will be Bernardo Silva. In some games, it is like Sterling. Like they always make sure, along with the strikers, all the people score. And that is what we are also doing. We are not dependent on one player anymore. We are dependent, like our entire team. You just said it, Odegaard is our top scorer,
Yes.
but Odegaard is the player who has like a weak shot out of all our players. He's able to score it mainly because like he's in that position because Jesus and others, right, make sure all the defenders are and he's like open to score goals. And like even the last two games, right, in the second goal here, it was more like a pass. It was not even like a goal. And majority of the things, the first goal, I think it was Gabriel Jesus who did all the work. Second goal, it was more about, I'm not discounting Fabio Vieira's pass, but like before that. Second thing,
Martinelli.
it was like Martinelli. So you are seeing like Martinelli might not have scored recently, or Jesus is not scoring, but like they are doing all the things so that others can score. And they are at the correct positions even to score a goal. So this is more like a temporarily different form. And like once he starts scoring back, right, he might score for the next 4 5 games after that. So I'm not worried much because he's still like helping with the goals for the team. And as I said, like I expect assists plus goals from him and not goals alone. Assists plus goals, he'll definitely have like 25 to 30 by the end of this season.
Awesome. I think that's all we had to talk about the game because, anyways, the game's over and we are going into a break. It's something that is like redundant. As I said, we have more things to come up in the channel. We'll be
I
talking
know,
more
I,
about.
I know you hate it when I interrupt, but can I just add one more point to that? Like, in
Yes.
terms of goals,
Go ahead.
I think that's where we differ from City in the fact that we are able to take more shots and more shots from outside of the box. Someone like Eddie is always looking for a goal and he's always ready to take shots. That's where we differ from City. City, like if you think about it, apart from KDB, no one else takes shots outside
Yeah.
of the box. They always want to pass the ball into the net, like the old Arsenal. So I think that's where like these are the things that maybe
We
I don't
have
know. These
Partey
are the
and
things.
Xhaka to score regularly from outside the box. So
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. As I said, yes. Before Arun interrupted me, yes, I was on a roll talking about what are the other
interrupt
shows
you
that we
now.
are
I'll
planning to do.
interrupt you now because like you saw what the fans were doing to Ramsdale and like you saw that save where like he will like turn back to the fans and like
Yeah,
it was a
he's a
routine slave like
proper he's a proper banter artist. He just wants to do that all the time. But
Actually, I want the opposition fans to like do like that because whenever they are doing like that, right? I've seen him like playing the game a lot more better and like a lot more focused. And like you were saying, he was holding Zinchenko, right? Might be to do something to do with this because he wanted to prove a lot, and that is actually a good thing for us.
it is a good thing for us, and then it all adds up when things are going right. Everything looks to be the good thing for us. And right now, in Arsenal fans' mind, everything is going right. And one last time to laugh at United. You people are you people are in shit, and I'm very very happy about it. And
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Thursday and Friday that video to release.
Yes, we would try
We
and
should do a
add
watch along or something.
as many memes as we can. We'll add that in our social media platforms. So please do follow us. Give us a like, share, subscribe, and comment in your thoughts, especially about the discussion we had. So, anyways, thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. It's been amazing to have once more talk about Arsenal being top of the league. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.